Welcome to Newtown's World. I'm your host, Gary Davis. Newtown International Center for Education will be hosting students from a sister school in Laosheng, China for a visit to Newtown. The NICE parent and community organization has been spending many weeks preparing for this mid-February arrival of the students and their teachers from China, organizing events and recruiting families to act as hosts. Desiree Galassi, president of the organization, and Po Murray, vice president of the organization, are here today to fill us in on the details. And in the second half of our program, we'll meet with two families who will play host to the students. But first, we start with Desiree and Po. Great. I'm glad you guys could be here.
Thanks for having us.
So, Desiree, it was about a year ago that we were here talking about the formation of the NICE Parent and Community Organization,
Right.
To be a resource for the high school and for this program. So what's been going on since we last met?
A lot. Yeah, it's been since February. We started formulating the idea for the NICE PCO back in February because we realized that we needed to provide support to the NICE program. We wanted to provide opportunities for students, for parents, for the community to get involved. And since then, basically what we started with was the foundational structure, and we applied for 503C
501c3
status so that we can receive donations and also have scholarships available for need-based situations. After that, we just began participating in community events. We had our debut, so to speak, at the Labor Day Parade, and we followed up with the Cultural Arts Commission, the Cultural Arts Festival in September. And that was a great event because students from the high school as well as teachers, the world language teachers, provided workshops for the community. And people came and they did a little bit of language, a little bit of culture, and it was great. It was a wonderful opportunity to reach out to the community. After that, we participated in the International Education Week, which is a joint initiative with the Department of State and the Department of Education. And that basically was a way for us to celebrate international programming, hosting, and bringing awareness to the community and to students about these great opportunities.
What else, Po? What else have we done?
Well, just to talk briefly about the scholarships, that's very exciting because really what that will allow is some of the students here in Newtown who might not otherwise be able to afford to be part of the exchange program and travel to China now may have an opportunity to do that through the scholarships through the PCO.
And we actually were successful in being able to offer scholarships. We were pleasantly surprised that that became a reality so quickly. And
that's wonderful.
I really would like to thank the Newtown High School PTSA and the Reed School PTA, as well as the Junior Women's Organization, because they were the ones who recognized, along with us, this need. And so we were able to provide those scholarships early on.
Great. So we have some students who are going to be traveling to China from the high school who otherwise might not have that opportunity, so that's wonderful. So the real thing, though, the real pressing issue for the PCO is you're getting ready to receive students and teachers from China. How are the preparations for the visit coming along?
Yeah, well, it's coming along beautifully. I am the host family liaison for the NICE PCO, and I've been working with a NICE team to assist them, basically. They have it pretty under control. We have a schedule pretty much set, and we're fine-tuning, the itinerary for the group. But they're arriving on February 15th and leaving on the 24th. And I think this year we have a little bit more time, free time to do things with the delegates, which is really nice. But they have structured activities as well. On Monday of that week, they'll be going to New York City.
Oh, great.
On Tuesday, they go to Yale. And they're doing things a little bit differently this year, where all the students that are coming are going to one school at a time during that week. So on Wednesday, it'll be Reed, Thursday, middle school, Friday, high school. I don't know exactly the format, but that's the way it's structured this year.
Oh,
and
interesting.
we're going to also have a little bit more formal welcoming ceremony, whereas it was very informal last year. So we're changing it up a little bit, and I think it'll go
Right, and leaving enough time for
Wow.
the families to do individual things with the students. I know for our family, with the students we had last year, going to the mall was a significant event.
Right,
Right.
right. So, yeah, so I think it's coming along really nicely.
That's great. So how many students and teachers are we expecting from China this
Okay,
year?
we have 30 students coming and 12 adults.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we're going to have how many families hosting?
Well, right now we have about 30 families, and we're hoping that we'll get a few more so that we can place the adults
Great.
into the homes.
That sounds great. So with the students here, how can the community become involved and help out with this program? Both when they're here, but also after they're gone, there's still things to do.
Yeah, so we have been hoping that as many people in the community can join our NICE PCO. We've been trying to grow our membership and educate people about our program. I think it's a critical program for this community, and in fact, it's one of the few in this country, and we should be really proud that we have it. So I hope that people join and participate, because there are so many activities they can participate in throughout the year.
So when the kids come in, what are some of the challenges that these families are going to face being host families? And Desiree, you've kind of been through this a bit and have a few
I
good
have.
stories to tell, I think.
I have. It was a pleasure. I had hosted one of the administrators and his son the first time around, and I was clearly nervous because I knew that it was a great honor to be able to have the administrator stay with us. And as the week went along, things just became very comfortable. They became part of our family, and I enjoyed culturally the difference of how children respect their parents in Asia, and how they speak to them. And I enjoyed to see how the relationship between the son and the father when the father was here, and then after the father left and the student remained with us for an extra week, how he changed, and how he integrated with our students, and that was great. And then I hosted the student teacher from Reed School, and again, that was a long-term situation as opposed to a week or 2 weeks. And my thoughts were, how was this going to work? Because I'm a full-time working parent. I have 3 children, and things come up, such as, for example, the hurricane that hit, and we were without power, without electricity, without everything, and I was concerned as to how this was all going to work out, and it worked out beautifully. I mean, Tong did great. She just came with us and went to dinner at our friends' houses. We went to the NYA, took our showers there. So, it's they're here to live our life, to experience everything that we go through, whatever that is, and they're up for that challenge, and they want that. They look forward to that. So it's for us, it's been a great experience.
And there's a lot of support for those families through the high school administration, school administration in general, and also through PCO, right?
Right, that's correct.
So if I'm a family and I need a little help, who do they turn to? What's the process?
Well, they can contact us on the PCO. Poe is going to be the resource, the host family liaison resource, and they can reach out to me. They can reach out to Lisa Berger, who has also hosted, and she's one of our PCO members. Ian has also hosted. So, our little network on the PCO board, that's where they would start, and we're happy to answer any questions that they have.
And we have veteran host families, so we can contact them and have them be a resource for the families that are hosting now.
Yeah, it's kind of neat that it's a nice mix of first-time families and
Right.
people who've done it before say,
Right.
I'm enjoying it, I want to do it again. I know
That's
we'll
right.
talk about that a little bit later, but
Right.
it's amazing, right? The types of things that people want to step up and help.
Sure.
Yeah, and there are many ways that they can do that through the PCO. As as the organization grows and evolves, I think that the community needs to know that this is a grant and donation-funded program through the Newtown Public Schools. So anything that we do has come from these grants or private donations. And so we welcome people who are like-minded, who are interested in and helping promote international experiences for not just students who want to go overseas or the teachers who want to go overseas, but if that's not possible, to grow international experiences here within our community.
Well, I thought the NICE has done a very nice job of using the students who do have the opportunity to go overseas to come back and share those experiences with
Right.
the broader high school community,
Right.
and other schools as well. And it's quite nice to see that happen. And again, it's amazing too that really this is a program being funded from outside of the tax base. It's really been a great job of pulling together these grants that are available from the governments.
Correct.
And what you guys are doing now and talking to like-minded parents who recognize the value of having this type of an international program, both for the students but also just for the reputation of the community.
That's correct.
Absolutely, and the program is developing rapidly. We have students coming from France this year, and we're sending our kids to France, and that's an exciting opportunity, and they plan on growing the program further, and that's why we needed to develop an organization to support this this program. They need parents to step in and help out because the staff are very busy with their daily activities and responsibilities.
So if somebody wants to get involved with the parent and community organization, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, we have a website. We're
Right.
very proud of our website. All our information, our contact information is there. And we're happy to take anybody who wants to step forward. Come lend a hand or, support our scholarship foundation or our programming.
Great. And all the events and fundraisers and things
Yes.
can be found on the website. So,
Yep.
so
We're working on all those.
all of you people who are not involved at this point, if you are interested in learning more about the NICE Parent and Community Organization, you can check it out on the organization's page on Facebook or on the website at www.nicepco.org. I want to try that again, www.nicepco.org. Thank you, Poe and Desiree. And we're back to visit with two families who are playing host to students from China this month. Renia Marini and her son Matt, and Judy Dubois and her daughter Monique. Thank you for being here with us. You've had some interesting experiences, or will be facing interesting experiences in your case, Judy and Monique. So, Renia, why do you enjoy hosting students from China? This is the third year you're doing it, right?
This will be the third year. The first year, I think we did it because we wanted to learn about their culture. And the second years, I think we just so much enjoy meeting them and making friends and forming close bonds. And it's fun to see our world through their eyes as well. And we really enjoy that experience.
So Matt, what are you looking forward to this year? Because it's a little different this year. In the past, it was always talking English, but
Right.
you're now studying Chinese.
Yeah,
so-
this year is my first year. I'm taking Chinese at school. So I'm looking forward to being able to kind of converse with them a little more, and hopefully that'll be easier for them and for me too to learn Chinese a little more. So I think it'll be a lot of fun this year.
So what were some of the best experiences you've had as a host family?
Well, one year, the first year we hosted, one of the students brought a Chinese instrument called a hulu su, which is kind of like a flute, and he was just getting into learning how to play it. And he brought me one, and I still have it, and I still play it. I was actually playing it today. And he taught me a song on it. So that was one really fun experience because I could keep that with me forever. But then it's usually just the little things that are fun, like just playing basketball or ping pong or something.
And what were some of the highlights for the students in coming to America, things that they wanted to really, they look forward to doing?
We took them to New York as the first year. I thought a snowstorm might bar them from going with their trip, so it was great fun to show them New York City and watch it through their eyes and watch them see how diverse our country is. But sometimes it's the little things, just taking them to the mall, just having them see our culture, and then realizing that second day when I did take them to the mall that they wanted to buy LeBron James sneakers and they wanted LeBron James jerseys and they wanted iPod touches and iPhones, that suddenly that big wide gap between our cultures and our countries suddenly closed for me. And I realized they're teenagers just like ours. And at that point I said to her, you're my you're my sons when you're in America, you're just like my boys, and they now email me saying to our American, dear American mom.
So you've been able to keep in touch and continue to
Oh,
converse.
absolutely. Actually, the first year we bought them iPod Touches, or they bought them. When they got home with technology, he took the iPod Touch through, what was the program?
FaceTime. and we were
FaceTime,
video
and he was
chatting.
introducing us to his family there through FaceTime. And yes, we do keep in touch. They've emailed me for help on their projects at school. So it's been nice. We formed a tight bond with them. So
Well, that's great. So Judy, this is the first time your family has offered to host a student from China. What are you looking forward to doing, and why did you decide to do that?
Well, I know Poe and Desiree, and I've kind of been watching the NICE. But one of the big things is my husband travels internationally all the time. And just this week, he just spent the last week and a half in China, and he works for an English corporation that just bought their first Chinese business. And so by bringing a student in, it kind of brings it all full circle. I have 4 kids. Monique is my middle daughter. I have 12-year-old twins and a 17-year-old daughter as well. And this gives them an opportunity to take a little bit of what Dad does every day and kind of bring a student in and see the other half of it.
So Monique, what are you looking forward to the most to hosting a student from China?
Well, I'm looking forward to pretty much hanging out with them. Like, I don't know how they'll act or anything, so I think it's going to be cool to see how they act like in a normal setting like we do. Like, are they the same or will they act differently because their culture is different?
And are there some things that you're curious about that you're now looking forward to hearing firsthand what it's like to live in China versus things you've heard?
Yeah, like I've heard that their school is really structured and their curriculum is hard, but I'm not sure if that's true, so I think it will be cool to learn about their school and what kind of food they eat too.
Sure. So what are you looking forward to doing the most?
I'm not quite sure what to expect. I'm a little nervous about it, actually. I think just exposing them to some of the things we do every day. I'm a little nervous about having 4 kids and having to run around with them and still have a student, but I figured this is kind of American life anyway.
Right.
So with the 4 kids, someone will always be available to, I guess you want to say, hang out or visit with them.
Yeah.
Well, Renia and Matt, with your experience with hosting, did you find that there were challenges to keep the students engaged? Did you feel like after the initial meeting between the two of you that you had to really entertain the students, or did they kind of just get into their own flow of living in America?
I mean, yeah, like you're nervous at first that it's gonna be awkward, but like the first day they come home and they were on like a really long plane ride, so they pretty much just go home and sleep. And the second day, you just have to kind of keep bringing up like if you want to do something, or a lot of the times we'd play basketball or play ping pong or something, or play video games, and they'd be tired or hungry and they'd go take a nap or something and wake back up. And yeah, you have to, it's kind of exhausting actually, but it's fun too at the same time, so you don't mind it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, the good thing is, Judy, you have 4 kids, so you have a little more support there to keep people busy. What is the one thing you'd like for your host student to come away with from the experience of coming to America?
I think that I would just like them to get a bit of our culture and for us to get a little bit of their culture, see where we're similar, where we're different. I'm just starting to look at colleges with my older daughter, and the more and more I see, the more international everything has become. So I think both for for them as well as for us to realize that it's a very small world. And they're going to be interacting with the United States, and we're going to be interacting with China as the kids grow up. And I think that'll be a great experience for both sides.
And Renia, what would you say if somebody asked you, should I host a student? What would your response be to
Absolutely. It was just such a wonderful experience, and really we enjoy it more for the friendships that are formed. It does make the world going forward, there's so much international business now. It does make the world smaller for my children going forward in life someday, if they have jobs that put them in the international realm, that
Could have some connections.
They have connections, they have friendships, and they realize the world, everybody's the same. And despite our differences, there's some basic that love, friendship, kindness, laughter is the same in every language.
What's the reaction to living in Newtown that you've gotten from the students? How do they react to, we kind of live in a rural area. Some of the students from Laosheng are similar, but it's still, I think, a little more urban.
One of them did get car sick on our windy, twisty roads. That took me a little while because I kept thinking maybe it was the food until I finally realized it might be my driving. So I learned to slow down, and we dealt with that.
They're also, I think, really shocked about the size of the houses here.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're used to a lot of them live in dorms at their school or like small apartments. So they're really shocked about the size of our houses, and also their skies are very polluted in China. So the fact that they can see the moon at night,
The stars.
like,
They're
overwhelms
shocked.
them, and they just love it so much.
What did you find anything interesting about some of their eating habits? I know we hosted, and there were a couple of things that came up in terms of the temperature of the water they would like to drink,
Exactly.
that type of thing. So what were some of the things that?
That was a similar
found?
one. One of them, before he went to bed every night, he just wanted a cup of hot water. They were, because they're here, I thought that they wanted to investigate our foods. But the one that wasn't feeling well, I took him to the grocery store, let him buy whatever he wants, and he chose ramen noodles. So noodles was kind of the good staple to have in case. But they were wanting to try our cheeseburgers, and they were inquisitive about our foods.
So Judy, are you planning? What are you planning for your menu for your student? Have you thought about that a bit?
Monique?
Monique's going to influence those choices.
I make a lot of food, yeah.
Oh, great!
It's
So
fun.
what are you planning? What are you going to make for them that you would consider a quintessential American dish?
I don't know. We'll probably have like pasta with pesto one night, or lasagna or something.
Homemade pizza. I would
Yeah.
like to go out for Mexican. Monique likes to make cupcakes and cookies.
Oh, yeah,
so we'd like to
cookies.
maybe have them bake with us.
Yep.
I think they'll be up for all of that, right? I mean, I think they seem to be very adventurous. At least most of them do who come over.
Right. And I know one family said the girl they had over made dumplings with their family. And we have boys, so they didn't seem too interested in cooking with us.
One of the things I've always liked about visiting other countries is trying their foods. So I've got to imagine that when they come here, they're going to want to do the same.
And they will. From personal experience, they will. So why do you think it's important for our school system to have this type of a program?
Well, I think we are one of the only towns that does this kind or has this kind of program, and I think it's important, and it kind of sets us aside from other towns in Connecticut and the United States.
And from a student standpoint, having this type of firsthand experience with other cultures, what does that mean to you as a student?
Well, I love it because I love that whole international kind of vibe, I guess. So, yeah, I just think it's really cool, and it's really fun to have email with friends from China and around the world, and it just feels good, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good reason. It's great.
Yeah.
And Judy and Monique, what do you think about the school district being involved in this type of program, and why do you think it's valuable?
I think it's great. Firstly, because I think actually Newtown is somewhat isolated here. We don't have a lot of diversity, although we try. This provides a little bit of it for our students. I also think, as I'm looking to send my oldest to college next year, I think that the whole world, we're a global community now, through the internet, through communications. When we had this tragedy in Newtown, my husband was getting condolences from all over the world where he had partners in business, and that's the way it is, and we need to prepare our students for that.
And Monique, what would you want your student to come away from, to bring back to China based on this experience? What would you want her to say about visiting you here in Newtown and what life was like here in Newtown and in America?
I think that I would just want them to get a really good idea about what our everyday lives are. like kind of just what we do for fun and how we spend our time and what music we listen to and what like sports and stuff we do.
Yeah, it is interesting to find the things that are in common, and it's surprising. I know that last year the students were all talking about Linkin Park, the rock band Linkin Park, and we were like, "Oh, really? Why are you talking about Linkin Park?" But that to them was just an amazing thing. We wanted to talk about. They wanted to hear Linkin Park. That was their big thing. So it was interesting to see what parts of American culture they had grabbed onto. Did you find something similar in your experiences?
Yeah, one of them really liked American disaster movies, like 2012 and Independence Day. And as far as music, I know one of them actually liked Justin Bieber a lot. So we went to Best Buy, and he was getting like Justin Bieber CDs and stuff.
Yeah, they liked Michael Jackson.
And they liked Michael Jackson.
And if you had the radio on in the car, they'd say, "Oh, that's Lady Gaga."
Yeah.
And they would.
So they liked
pick up on it.
the American pop music.
Neat.
a
So
lot.
now you know what to have for listening selections for your guests.
Well,
But we'll see what it is. It might be different
It'll
this
be
year.
interesting in our house because we have different types of music tastes.
Yeah.
Well, good. They'll get a real education on American music then. Well, I want to thank all of you for being on the show. I'm sure you're going to have a tremendous experience with this latest round of students coming to visit. And just a reminder to everybody out there again, if you are interested in learning more about the NICE Parent and Community Organization, you can check it out at the organization's page on Facebook or on its website at www.nicepco.org. I want to thank our crew, Tom, George, and Molly, and our director, Neil. And I want to thank Charter for the great set. And thank you for taking time to watch Newtown's World. I'm your host, Gary Davis. Until next time, live life well. And if you see a Chinese student walking through our streets of Newtown in the next couple of weeks, please stop by and say hello and wish them a nice welcome to America. Thank you.